What's up, everyone? It's Thomas with Real Broker here in St. Augustine, coming at you live every Wednesday at 8 p.m., doing the market stats, the local news that you need to know about, and doing a question and answer session. So if you do have any questions, if you're watching the replay, if you're watching it live, go ahead and fire them off below. I'm here for you guys every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So if you do have any questions, don't be shy. I'm sure someone has the exact same question. So please leave me a question in the comments below. But we're going to start off this week. We're going to take a look at the market distillery report. Comes out on the 20th of every month. So that just came out a couple days ago, and they put together something that's really, really nice. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we'll just take a look. Boom. All right, so this is the market dashboard, and it's updated pretty much with the general stuff that we need to know about, right? So it gives us a good indicator, a nice graph of where the market balance is right now. And we are definitely moving towards a buyer's market, where last year we were 100% in the seller's market field. Gives us a good idea of what's going on with rates over these past couple of months. Gives us the average of January with 6.13. And if you've been following, you've heard that interest rates have been going up these past couple of weeks, and they're hovering around 6.8 right now, going around 7. So that's definitely a change. Supply, you can see that supply actually went up, and then it started to go down along with the average sale price, but we're still up, looks like year over year 7%. So that's actually a really great indicator there. And then demand, days on market, 62 days overall. And then from January 2022, it's 33 days. So obviously a different change, but that was a welcome change, and we wanted that. So let's take a look here. They got a nice little, another nice little market trend here. Okay, let's see here. So the market trends are giving us the supply, demand, and the rates, the long term, the short term. That's a really good thing to look at, right? So long-term supply is up. You can see that it kind of peaked with around 7,500 homes here in November, October, and now it's actually come down. If I take a look over here, we'll go to the MLS. I think we're actually around 5,900 homes the last time I looked, which was last week. I think I looked at this number here. So let's take a look. 5,864. So we're actually under what we were last week at this time. So that's the point, right? So in the long term, our supply is up. Year over year, our supply is way up, right? We were down here. We had nothing on the market through January and March. And then as the spring came on and started to heat up, our market has done the same as well. But in the short term, you can see since November, our supply has gone down. But that is something that's pretty typical. You can see here, there was actually more active listings here. It's gone down to February here as well. So I imagine for February, those numbers will keep going down. And then hopefully in March, April, we'll start to see some more listings hit the market. Demand. So right, the long term, you're comparing it. We're just using pending sales as a great indicator. So January, we had 2,000 homes pending sales. In January of last year, that was 3,000. So a good bit more. But if you're comparing it month over month, we are seeing some indicators of the housing market starting to heat up at 2,000 sales for the month of January. Whereas, it's not that too far off of last year. Rates, we know that rates have gone up, significantly. It was 3.55% in January of last year. Now we're at 6.13%, so pretty much double of what they were. But last month we did see some lightening up on the rate increases. But these last 2 weeks, we've actually seen a reversal of that, and they're trending backwards up towards 7%. It has a lot to do with what's going on in the world right now. Inflation, because inflation for January wasn't so great. So now, the mortgage market is responding to that. So yeah, a lot of interesting things are going on here, guys. But that's a great resource. I definitely want you guys to check out the Market Distillery. If you're looking for just free stuff, you can follow them on Instagram at the Market Distillery. I believe at the Market Distillery is what it's called. Yeah, so that's a great one to check out. But if you have any questions about what's going on here locally or nationally, go ahead and leave them below. I'm here to answer you. If you're watching the replay, you're watching it live, I appreciate you guys being here either way. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Let's go ahead and start sharing the next screen here. All right. So this is actually something that is a major change, right? So Biden-Harris administration announces action to save home buyers and homeowners $800 per year. So they just announced an action that will save homeowners and home buyers with new FHA insured mortgages an average of $800 per year by lowering housing costs on the mortgage insurance premium. So a mortgage insurance premium is something that you need to pay for if you're putting less than 20% down on any type of mortgage. But for FHA mortgages specifically, they're lowering that payment by 30%. So on average, across the entire United States, buying a $350,000 home, it should save you about $800 a year. So that comes out to about $80 a month for most people. And I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in this market with interest rates where they are, housing prices where they are, I think even $100 helps, the average person, looking, especially my generation, looking to qualify and buy a home. Most of the people that use FHA loans are first-time home buyers. So that is a big vehicle for them to start owning a home and building wealth through real estate. So I think that's super important. We'll see how that plays out in the future. You guys know I'm always skeptical about government things, so we'll see how it works. But I think that's a little bit of a needed relief amongst today's housing market. And I also have more stories here about how our housing market and confidence in our housing market nationally is starting to change. So I'm going to get into the next news story here. We're going to talk about Elon Musk. We're going to talk about Jeff Bezos, and they're getting into the housing game, guys. First Jeff Bezos, now Elon Musk making a play in the single-family housing market. So Jeff Bezos ended up, putting a whole bunch of money behind a real estate startup, Arrived Homes, in 2021. Essentially, they act as a real estate investment trust. For the most part. And okay, where the heck's the rest of this article? I was just reading it. Oh, story continues. There we go. Sorry. Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, Twitter, and SpaceX, may be partnering with Lennar, which is a big deal, to build a new residential area of 110 homes. And that's because Elon Musk says that there's an urgent need to build housing in the greater Austin area, and he wants to put his own spin on it. So, I mean, this is just something that you can see that people, if you're a person that's an entrepreneur, you're looking at the housing market, you're seeing that these hedge funds are buying up homes left and right. It seems that they want the housing market to be corporatized. And, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are getting in on that in their own way. And I think we should see some more innovation in the residential sector, and we're going to talk about that here today, where St. Johns County is trying to change some things so that it would make it more apt for affordable housing to be built amongst developers, which may not be a good thing for home buyers in the area that need the affordable housing. Well, let me know what you think about it when we get to it, but that is an interesting news story there. I'm going to go on to the next one here. That's also going to talk more or less about what's going on with the demand here. Let's see here, this one here. Okay, so Toll Brothers, right? They're a luxury home builder. Stock jumps amid marked increase in demand to start 2023. So they really base this off of their earnings per share coming in at $1.70 against the $1.40 expected by analysts. And then let's see here. Toll Brothers looked at home sales revenues that rose 4% compared to the same period last year, delivering 1,800 homes. The company also affirmed guidance for this year, saying it expects to deliver earnings per share in a range between $8 and $9 and adjusted gross margin of 27%. Shares of Toll Brothers in general were up 3% following these results. So I just want to bring this up just because it is kind of showing that the housing market seems to be recovering just slightly. And things are still happening despite all the doom and gloom in the world. And there has been some doom and gloom recently, guys. It's not been great. But this is another article that I wanted to talk about. The St. Johns County, they're moving to increase price of workforce housing, reduce the amount that developers have to build. Now, all of this sounds counterintuitive to me, so please let me know what you guys think about this, because I think this is really interesting. We know that affordable housing is plaguing St. Johns County right now, and we've grown so fast, right? We've grown so fast that the county, government's slow to react to things. And, they're moving and doing what they can, but there's not an easy answer to this situation. So what they want to do is they want to raise the maximum price of workforce housing, and they also want to lower the percentage that's required for developers to build workforce housing. So right now, with any approved workforce housing development, 40% of the units must be workforce housing, sold no more than $240,000. The rest can be sold at market rate. Home builders are saying that this county's workforce housing laws are too strict. So they're not looking to build that. They're not looking to build it because there's just not enough profit margin for them providing that workforce housing. So they want to increase the maximum cost for workforce housing to $260,000 and reduce the percentage of houses they must build to 30%. And that's because they want to bring units forward, or this will die on the vine and no one will be served. So the commission was divided on the topic, but it passed with a 3-2 vote. I don't know how I feel about that, because at the end of the day, $260,000 homes is, that is workforce housing, that is affordable housing comparatively to the rest of the United States. But, just 3 years ago, $260,000 was pretty much the median sale price of what was going on here in St. Johns County. And everything just changed so rapidly that the people that work here, live here, historically making $40,000 a year, which is the average salary. I think it's $37,000 actually, $1,000 a year average salary here in St. Johns County. They can't afford to buy a house. And if you're trying to buy a house at $260,000, you better have nothing, perfect credit score, a huge down payment, and no debt at all. Which, who doesn't have debt today? And especially when now you can finance clothes, right? You can buy a $100 pair of shoes. I think I bought a pair of Vans the other day, $100 pair of shoes, you can finance it. And it's like, this is craziness to be able to do this, be able to finance this. It's just creating a system of debt for people that they're never going to be able to get out of. But on to the next news story, guys. I'd like to really know what you think about this because I don't know if we're going to be able to bring more workforce housing in the capacity that we need just by raising that to $260,000 and lowering it to 30%. As of now, it's $240,000 is the maximum price for affordable housing, workforce housing, and the developers have to contribute 40%, and they want us to change it to $260,000 as the max so they can make a little bit more money and make it happen, bring it to the market as quick as possible. And they also want to lower how many homes they bring there. So 10%, that's a big jump. So hopefully the county's smart and negotiates a little bit and maybe gets a third-party opinion on what they should do here, and maybe do a little bit of research. I'm really not optimistic about it. They've passed it already, right? But I'm sure it has to go through a couple more approvals with the public as well. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think it's a really interesting news story. I'll stay on top of it the best that I can. So if you follow every Wednesday at 8 p.m., you're more than likely going to stay on top of it, which is my goal for this channel is pretty much keep everyone in the loop, right? So if you're looking to buy here, you're looking to sell here, the information that's relevant to you, and you can make an educated decision about moving forward. Okay, now, this is something that we've talked about in the past. St. Augustine City Manager talks homelessness and other issues. So homelessness is a big deal in St. Johns County right now because we have beautiful weather, and there's not much that the city can do. They've gotten sued in the past for displacing and arresting panhandlers, right? So it's an issue in nearly every city. Let's not forget that, but it's magnified in St. Augustine because there's so many panhandlers, and because panhandling is kind of under our First Amendment right and it's protected speech, the police cannot do anything about it. So they're trying to figure out what they got to do, and they're saying that what they need to do is have more transitional housing, which in this county, and I literally just had a conversation about this morning. Because of how fast everything's changed, the county has just not been the quickest to respond to what they need to do in order to make housing more affordable, to give more options for people. because the panhandling, the homelessness, that really wasn't that big of an issue pre-pandemic. And pre-pandemic, it really changed things. And we talk about it all the time. But that's one thing that they're talking about doing, adding transitional housing, but that's going to be years down the line. So what's going to fix the problem today? I have no idea. They're also talking about how they might change up St. George Street a little bit. So they might add a bike lane to it so that it would make it inconvenient. And they're like, the problem is that there's not that many panhandlers / homeless in downtown St. Augustine. It's just that St. George Street is only so big. So you have a group of like 5 or 6 homeless people hanging out, sleeping on the corner. Then it just kind of looks like it's, there's a lot more than meets the eye. So they're talking about redefining St. George Street, what they could do for that, making it allowable for scooters and bikes. But I don't see that happen with how many people are down there. That doesn't seem to make a good sense at all. But we'll see what happens here, guys. They're also talking about, hey, with what's going on here in St. George Street, we just got control of King Street from the state. So they're like, hey, we can make King Street, we can redo King Street, redo the Browdy's development that I've talked about, where it's going to put a parking garage, going to put a train station in Jacksonville. Now, these are all long-term goals, guys. These are all like 5-10 years down the line, because I doubt they're going to be able to pump out 180 beds here to deal with for transitional housing here within the next year. That I'm very skeptical on that. I have zero to no faith on that, actually. I don't think that'll happen. But they'll talk about it a lot. I imagine that will happen. Either way, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I've only got a couple more news stories here, maybe just one more. Let me see here. Yeah, just one more news story. So if you do have any comments, let me know. I had a busy day, helped my sister move a whole bunch of stuff from her storage unit. And I got to say, I'm pretty wiped. Manual labor anymore. I got soft hands, I don't really be moving boxes like that anymore. But all right, so new development coming to St. Augustine Retail Center on International Golf Parkway, which I've talked about Buc-ee's, I've talked about Costco. So that is on the west side of 95 on International Golf Parkway. They're talking about doing this on the east side of 95. So if you're interested in Bannon Lakes, if you're interested in Parkland Preserve, this is going to be a development right next to you. If you're in that area, or if you're looking to buy in the 55 plus community or the bigger community of Bannon Lakes. So you can see the intersection right here. That's International Golf Parkway. And this is the entrance to Parkland Preserve. Pet Paradise is down here. You got 2 gas stations right here. So they're talking about putting it right in this section over here where they add, excuse me, where they add 9,000 square feet of retail space. So each of the spaces are going to be somewhere between 1,500 to 4,000 square feet, just depending on how they lay it out. But this is a rendering of what it might look like. And in that area, we've definitely seen a lot of development. So that's definitely an important thing. I think this is going to do really well. So if you are looking to open a business in the area, this might be a great spot for you to consider. And I imagine they're going to start leasing here shortly. So pretty exciting stuff here, guys. Let's see here. I think I have one more that was important. Oh, I just deleted one. My bad. Yeah, all right. You know what? That was it, guys. That was it. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. I'm going to be back on at Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you do have any questions that I didn't cover here, either leave me a comment or reach out to me directly, whether it's call, text, or email. Do my best to get back to you in a timely manner. I'll be here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. going over the market stats, going over the local news that you guys need to know about if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing here in St. Augustine, and also doing a Q&A. But hey, guys, I appreciate you being here. We got 8 people on here, 8 studs. So until next week, guys, I hope to see you. I'll talk to you later.